When talking to other managers, there's a question I hear from time to time, and it is asked in many different ways. What is a manager? Really, if you ask someone in the 1950s, they'd say it's the person who tells everyone else what to do. You'd probably imagine a guy in a grey suit shouting over factory noise, armed with a clipboard, a stopwatch. But if you ask someone in 2025, well, that's a more complicated question because the job is kind of evolving or maybe dissolving in real time. So today we're digging into what management used to be, what it's becoming, and why it might not need traditional line managers in the future, at least not in the way we used to. My name is Marcel. I'm a chartered manager who over the last 2 decades went through all forms of management, from the most traditional one to completely project-based, and in this video I want to try to guess what the future will look like. Firstly, let's rewind. We have to remember that back in the early 20th century, management was born in the factories. You had a clear structure. You may recognize these structures from armies, and that is exactly where they originated. Plenty of workers on the bottom, supervisors above them, managers above them, executives at the top. There is a leader also at the top who makes a decision, and then there are branches underneath that person that break it down into actionable chunks. It's a great design for reality where people at the coalface don't have to come up with any new ideas, but instead they have to simply follow the training and repetitive, this is critical to this story, repetitive tasks. The model was designed for scale: factories, plants, production lines, places where efficiency was king, and people were basically interchangeable in a big industrial machine. In theory, we call this the age of Taylorism. It comes from a guy called Frederick Taylor, the so-called father of scientific management, who literally timed people with a stopwatch and broke down tasks into repeatable motions. If you ever studied economy, his name comes up frequently. If you did X, you'd get Y. If you didn't, you'd hear about it from your manager. The manager's role was to control. And it was to control 3 things. It was to control time, process, and people. It worked because the tasks were predictable, the product was physical, the path was linear. The org chart was a pyramid. And here's the thing, that model still works really well in many blue-collar industries today. Logistics, manufacturing, warehousing, construction, they still depend on this layered structure because they need coordination. They need compliance and consistency at scale. We could argue whether these structures are still as rigid, but they're there nevertheless. But things started to break down when we tried to apply the same model to white-collar work. Because the white-collar jobs aren't like factory jobs. They're project-based, creative, non-linear, and often collaborative in very weird ways. You can't measure a marketing campaign the same way you'd measure a conveyor belt. You just can't stopwatch your way through designing a product or writing a code or running a workshop, and yet for decades we still applied the same pyramid model to office jobs. There was a line manager, there was a department head, there was a VP, there was a C-suite. We told managers to monitor hours, check output, and hold people accountable even when we weren't entirely sure what the output was supposed to look like. Even the 9-to-5 model was carried over from the factories to offices because these offices were often physically on top of factories. And this worked, kind of. But in my opinion, it also led to a lot of bloat. A lot of people in middle management roles who weren't really leading. They were just sitting in the chain of command, reviewing slides and forwarding emails. So what changed recently? Well, it's not as sudden as you may think. We've been in a long, slow shift, something that we now call the Great Flattening, but it's more fundamental than simply what happened in the last few years alone. I would say that we probably see the first breakdown from the traditional pyramid of management in the 60s in the USA with the recognition of the matrix structure. In a matrix organization, people typically report to 2 managers at the same time. One based on the function like marketing, finance or HR, and another based on a project, product or region. So someone in the marketing team might report to the head of marketing, that's the functional boss, and the project manager for product X, that's the project boss. The benefit here is access to the right talent. This is an evolution from the traditional model, which over a few decades meant that the companies could start flattening. However, it's still trapped in that 9-to-5 model. So we see removing layers. We see collapsing departments, turning big pyramids into flatter, more dynamic networks. And now we are at the next stage of that movement where the new types of jobs is entirely conceptual without the physical product being assembled. Part of this was driven by tech, things like Slack, Notion, Zoom. All of it made possible for people to coordinate without gatekeepers. Part of it was generational. Newer workers didn't want to be micromanaged. They wanted autonomy, trust, and growth because they were educated to be more independent. And part of it was economic. Let's be honest, middle management is expensive. If you can replace one line manager with clearer processes and stronger individual contribution, well, that's a very compelling argument for most companies. I'd argue this was inevitable to happen. So in a lot of organizations, especially startups and fast-growing companies, the need for traditional line managers just started to fade. But that doesn't mean leadership disappeared. It just shifted, and it's still dependent on the industry you work in. Now, the way I see this forming through what we can observe in the large Silicon Valley companies, but also in your local creative agencies and similar, in flat organizations, leadership isn't about control anymore. It's about clarity, it's about strength of the vision from the senior management. Instead of giving orders, leaders are expected to set the direction, to explain the why and the where, not just the what, and communicate it well to the layers below. This is actually way harder than it sounds. When there are fewer managers, people can't rely on someone telling them what to do every day. So the vision, the company mission, the team goals, the principles have to be really clear. Leadership becomes about alignment, not supervision. This is a nice soundbite, but companies struggle to no end with the execution of it. Senior leaders have to engage on individual level. That means explain everyone why they are here and not like they used to. The old way was to say, for instance, you are here to manage projects. That thinking should be gone by now. I mean, I would leave immediately if anyone told me that. The way we have to explain now is to give a larger vision of the mission. Something along the lines of, we want to change the XYZ industry to stop ignoring ABC issues. Your job is to manage projects in a way that it makes it possible. That means more responsibility falls onto individuals who are more engaged now. They feel their input matters. They're expected to figure out how your work connects to the mission, to set your own pace, to flag blockers, to solve problems without always escalating them. And instead of having a line manager as your one-stop shop for everything, coaching, approvals, feedback, motivations, you might get that support from multiple directions now. There might be a product owner guiding priorities. There might be a mentor helping you grow. There might be a peer reviewing your work. A leadership team broadcasting direction. It's less chain of command and more ecosystem of support. But this is very different from the old command and control model where someone was checking your work daily. These managers are now obsolete. What we need are modern managers, people who enable, not enforce, people who create clarity and reduce friction, not just review work and schedule meetings. Now that said, in some companies these responsibilities are getting split across roles. In others, they are absorbed by systems and culture, and there is no longer one size fits all kind of design, which means we may not need as many managers in the future as we once did. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. So where does it all go? Here's what I think in 4 points. Leadership will be more distributed. You won't always report to one person. Instead, you work with a constellation of people who lead in different ways. Number 2, individuals will own more of their own development. With less managerial oversight, your growth, your pace, your performance, that'll be increasingly self-driven. Number 3, managers who remain will need to be really good. Fewer roles means high expectations. These aren't clipboard people, they're facilitators of clarity and culture. And number 4, the culture itself and vision will become the glue. The job of senior leadership becomes storytelling, painting a picture of where we're going, why it matters, what's expected, so that everyone can act with confidence and direction, even without a manager hovering nearby. Now, I have to stress again, this model will only take hold in new industries, and not every environment will be even able to accept it. Warehousing or production will still rely heavily on the traditional pyramid, and the mistake I see many companies do is thinking that the Great Flattening is as applicable to them as it is to creative industries. So, are line managers becoming obsolete? Maybe not entirely, but the old model, that's gone. Slowly, quietly, and maybe for the better, because in the future management won't be about managing people. It'll be about managing context. And the best leaders, well, they won't give you answers. they'll give you clarity and get out of your way. Now, I know this is easier said than done, but it executed correctly, it can create a really nourishing companies. So that's my prediction of the future. Changes, but more in some industries than others. If you too see the world of management changing, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts and subscribe. There's more content coming out of the world of management and how to operate in it, in both the new and the more traditional one. I'll see you in the next one.
Generate by AI.